and start my introduction and everything. So I want to welcome everyone to Level Up Your Job Search with AI, presented by our partner WriteSea. Today's webinar is going to focus on AI and how it can empower your business ambitions and help you stand out in this competitive job market. WriteSea's Job Search Genius is an AI-powered tool to help you craft standout resumes, ace interviews, and negotiate offers. BGS members can try this tool for free, so you can learn more about that by visiting our landing page on our website. It's my pleasure to introduce Leander Howard, co-founder of WriteSea. So please join me in welcoming Leander.
Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. So today I will just give pretty much a brief overview. I'll just talk about my job search experience and how I became a career-ready graduate. And then I'll kind of walk you through how we built a tool to help you land your dream job in within 90 days or hopefully 120 days. So my name is Leander Howard II. I'm the co-founder of WriteSea. WriteSea is an AI career services platform, pretty much to help early to mid-career and even some executive level professionals secure their next offer within 90 days or less. My personal background, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised, specifically Stone Mountain on the east side. If you're from Atlanta, happy to see you on the call. I was raised in Stone Mountain. My birthday is March 23rd. I am 28 years old. I went to Georgia State University in Atlanta, graduated from there in May of 2020 with 2 degrees, one in marketing, one in finance. And then right before I graduated, I actually started my first company called Spark Your Resume, where we help entry-level to C-suite executives land their dream job in 90 days or less. Scaled that business from 0 to 1,000 customers within 2.5 years. The highest salary increase, like $85,000 increase in salary for a lady switching from a recruiter to more so like a sales engineering role. Been doing the career coaching and career services help for about 7 years now. I actually started doing this when I was 20 years old, and got into it simply by helping friends, family, students at Georgia State University transition into new roles. And people trusted me simply because at Georgia State, I interned at Wells Fargo in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I also interned at Arthur Blanks Foundation downtown Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And one thing that people kept asking me were, how are you getting these interviews? How are you landing these job opportunities when these certain companies don't necessarily come to campus to recruit? And I told them one thing, literally, and I said the word LinkedIn. And I think people underestimate the power of LinkedIn, the way you can connect with people, the way you can post about your ideas, the things you're doing, who you are, what you believe in online, and actually build a following, build a network of like-minded individuals. So that's what I was doing at the age of 20 years old, just talking about my internships, talking about my resume experience, talking about how to write a resume, how to tailor your experience to where recruiters understand how you're going to bring value to the company based on your previous roles. Right. And I was young, right? So my previous roles were sales associate jobs at Coca-Cola. My first sales associate job at Rack Room Shoes was my first job, literally when I was 16 years old, selling shoes, buy one, get one half off at Rack Room for 4 years. But I used that experience to translate the skills that I've learned over the course of those 4 years to other opportunities, such as when I became a teller at Bank of America in 2019. My bad, 2017, my sophomore year of college. And then after that, I transitioned to get my internship. I used that Bank of America experience to get my internship at Wells Fargo, right? Because I knew they were competitors. So I was very strategic about what I wanted to do in my career. And like I said before, I was majoring in marketing and finance. So I wanted to get a finance job because I knew I liked marketing. I knew I could do marketing when I graduated if I wanted to work at a company, but I didn't necessarily know what finance looked like in corporate. So I knew I needed to get a finance job early on. I said, what's an entry level job that I can get my foot in the door to where I have Bank of America's logo or Wells Fargo's logo on my resume? And I was a teller position. I was making $15 an hour at 20 years old, which is pretty good for a college student, right? I'm working 25 hours a week, going to class Tuesday, Thursday, and managing my time that way. But I would say wholeheartedly, like if you're in college, try to join professional orgs. I was the president of Alpha Kappa Psi Professional Business Fraternity. I'm now a member of Omega Psi Phi Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, which is a D9 organization. right? So use your affiliations to gain leadership experience while it's free, right? So while I was president at Georgia State University, Pi chapter of Alpha Kappa Psi Professional Business Fraternity, I used that experience to learn how to run a business. I had 50 people to manage, right? I had um, different chairs and groups, different committee groups that I had to that was reporting to me. I had a secretary, I had a vice president. It's just like being a CEO of a company. You have your leadership team, you have your departments, right, that are all reporting not maybe not directly to you, but you're responsible for everybody that's under you, right? Because that's your organization. So I leveraged that experience being an AK side, working at Wells Fargo during my internship in Minneapolis, at Arthur Blanks Foundation, right, to really gain experience on how to run a business, how to be professional, how to work in corporate, how to show up, right? How to communicate, how to write proper emails, how to network with people that I might be strangers with that could potentially help me get my next opportunity. And it's worked out for me in the past 7 to 8 years to lead me to my role now to be able to actually produce or create a product to help other people at scale. So when I first started Spark Your Resume, we were doing manual career services, right? To where I would come in, people would purchase packages and they would, I would help them with their resume, cover letter, link their profile, even apply to jobs for them, right? Based on the package they purchased, right? But it was all manual and it wasn't scalable. So I needed more people, right, to take more orders or to complete to serve more people, right? I needed more people to serve more people. But now we have AI in our hands where it can it's more scalable, right? So now I can serve millions of people, right, with the tools that we've built and that I'm going to show you a little bit about today, um, that can help you in your job search through Beta Gamma Sigma, right? That's the whole purpose of this webinar, is to really educate you on why AI is important. Do not be afraid of it, right? How you can leverage it for your job search, how it can streamline the process, and it doesn't have to be so manual anymore. You don't have to start from scratch, right? When it comes to creating a cover letter, you can do that within seconds now. I can optimize my bullet points with AI based on what I write in my resume, right? And then we actually ask you three probing questions to enhance the bullet point on your resume. And I'll show you all of that in a second, but I just want to paint a picture of like who I am, what we do, how we help, and really want to get more, audience engagement. What are you struggling with right now? So maybe I can give you some advice on how to get out of that situation because at the end of the day, your job determines your livelihood, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. Is because at the end of the day, I've literally seen people that have purchased our packages that were down bad. I mean, close to losing their house. That we've helped actually secure jobs to get them back on their feet, right? Not saying everybody on the call is in that position right now or you're just looking for a better opportunity, but I want to know maybe put some things if you don't mind sharing, right? Put some things in the chat or ask in the Q&A so where I can only see it to where I can answer that question live because I want to make this more personal, more about you than it is about me. Because that's why I'm here, is to help you actually succeed in your roles and your endeavors, and achieve your aspirations. So I'll take a pause there to see if anybody wants to, comment anything in the chat. Um, I'm also based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So hey, OKC, nice to meet you. If not, I can just go from the top, and kind of I'm gonna play a 3 minute video to kind of give you an overview of what the tool looks like from a student's or a user perspective, and then I can walk in and actually show you how AI is actually enhancing the job search with job search engines. But if there's anything that you're looking for specifically during the webinar right now, anything that you're worried about or you're struggling with, please leave it in the chat. I need help knowing. Let me expand the chat. Okay, here we go. I need help knowing how to address a recent layoff. Okay. I know that it wasn't performance based and I want to communicate that to potential employers, but I'm worried that saying that outright may make it sound suspicious. Okay, cool. I think companies would know that so there's certain reasons that people get laid off, right? I'm an owner myself, right? So it really might not be. You can't be absolutely correct, John, where you are you've been laid off due to company downsizing in a specific department. and it has literally nothing to do with your performance. And it also could be they were running out of money. It could really be that simple. I don't know what company you're at or how transparent they were when it comes to sharing financials and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, it's either we're running out of money or we don't necessarily need this department anymore because business might be changing, right? To where they might have done a pivot. Um, they might be exploring new opportunities, right? I've been there, done that. Firing people is the worst thing that a business like. It's the hardest thing for me to do. I've only had to do it once in my life. Thank God. I hate doing it. But explaining it to an employer, I think you should be. I would say just be transparent as possible. Like, hey, the company was going in a different direction. They didn't necessarily need my role. It didn't have to do anything with my performance necessarily. And they've told me that, or they've communicated that to me during my offboarding. Here's how I think I can bring value to your company based on that experience. Right? You want to always flip it to a positive light to where, hey, turn it back to how you can actually bring value to that company. That's the only reason somebody's going to hire you. Right? I'm not paying people just to sit around and twiddle their fingers all day, right? Like if you have a job, you're there for a reason. So what I tell people is if that company didn't, if your position didn't exist, how would that company lack? That's exactly how you bring value to that organization. So if you ever get stuck or have imposter syndrome about, oh, I don't think I'm really doing anything for the company, I promise you, one, nobody's paying you for free. You must be doing something unless you would be gone. Two, think about if your role did not exist, how would that company be impacted? And that's your answer. And I would highly suggest articulating that within maybe 3 to 5 bullet points on the resume, and also include achievements, right? The outcomes that you've contributed to the overall growth of the company specifically, right? So, like for example, most account executives are there to close deals, right? But certain account executives are A players versus B players versus C players. So John could close a 100K deal, but Leander might close a 50K deal. Yes, they both done the same work, but John, right, created more value, more monetary value for the company because his deal size was higher, right? Hopefully that makes sense. And that's how you incorporate your achievements outside of the actual task or duty that you've done to achieve that goal for the organization. John, if you can just put like a thumbs up, um, or comment in the chat if I answered your question correctly, if that was helpful. Thank you in advance for taking the time. No questions so far. Curious about which AI you're using and whether you use it and how. ChatGPT 5.0. Yes, so we use OpenAI for our large language models. Usually we use Grok, we use Llama. We have a big partnership with Meta. You might have seen my co-founder and CEO on Hulu commercials earlier this year talking about our partnership with Llama 3. But we use a couple of different models and Claude as well. So we use a couple of different models for different purposes when it comes to, community. Like I think writing, Claude is phenomenal. Maybe for like more reasoning, ChatGPT, OpenAI is really good. But like, and even feedback and analysis, we use OpenAI for the interview part. So I'll show you all of that in a minute. And kind of explain which models we're using as we're going through it. Matt found that my job is going to be cut due to budget cuts. Yep, but won't take effect until February 20. Okay, cool. So you got some time. You got 3 months. I'm in the exact same boat that the question you just read. Perfect. Yeah, I think so, Matt. If you know, like, personally, I respect the company that you're working for letting you know that your position will be ending in 3 months versus giving you 2 weeks to try to figure out what I'm going to do next, right? So now you have time to plan that, right? So there's no excuse for you to not be in a new role by February 20th. Okay. So we can create a 90-day plan, right, on how you're going to actually execute this. But I always start off with my personal opinion is to start off with job functions, right? So, okay, what job functions do my skills fit under? Is it sales? Is it marketing? Is it business development? Is it operations? Is it finance? Is it HR? Is it legal? Is it engineering? Product, right? You got about maybe 10 to 12, right? Once I figure that out, then I go look and see what type of roles are available underneath the function that I'm suitable for. And then you got to also think about family and stuff like that. Okay, do I need to be based in a certain location? Do I want to work remote? Right? What can I actually what kind of salary am I expecting? Right? Benefits, right? Because you might need dental plans, healthcare plans. If you got a baby on the way, you might need maternity leave, paternity leave. Right? Those are the things you want to think about when it comes to actually choosing your company that you're going to work for. Because at the end of the day, this dictates your livelihood. So take it seriously. But it's most definitely a strategy behind choosing the right role. And at the end of the day, you need to be interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. This is not a one-sided street. A lot of people don't even ask questions at the end of the interview. You know what company culture is like? Can I ask the kid even talk to one of their sales reps? If you're applying for a sales job, hey, do you mind me talking to a few of your account executives just to make sure that the things you're saying about the company is actually accurate? I want to hear it from their mouth, not yours. You mind introducing me? Can I have a conversation with them? Right. Those are the questions that I would love for somebody to ask me when they're interviewing, because that's how I know they're serious. I hope that was helpful. How to understand what the recruiter is really searching for so you can focus on it. Okay. I think I'll get into that. How do you use AI to build multiple resumes depending on the position I'm applying for? I'll get into that as well. Okay, thank you. Perfect. Nice. Sounds good. Looking forward to your examples. Perfect. If we don't have experience leaving a university leading a university organization or serving as a club president and have only participated in club activities, can we still build a strong resume for a successful job application? Yes, but I highly recommend you go get leadership experience. A few things what a leader tells me, and at a young age, right, coming into or graduating with that leadership experience, is that you took initiative to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. I had no idea how to run an organization until I started running an organization. Same thing if you're ever trying to start a business. Most people sit on the sidelines for years, reading books, watching YouTube videos, doing whatever it is to try to feel better about starting this business. I promise you, there's nothing like being in the game versus watching the game. There are certain things you're just not going to know or not going to learn until you're actually playing in the game. The quicker you get in the game, the quicker you learn. The quicker you get in the game, the quicker you learn. I'm 5 years into entrepreneurship. My business plan that I wrote in 2020 is nowhere near what I thought I would be doing right now because I'm learning things as I'm doing it. I never knew how to run payroll. I didn't know it was all these tax implications for payroll. And I'm like, what is all of this? But I would have never known if I didn't start. So put yourself in uncomfortable situations. And I think as a student, you have the ultimate advantage because everybody knows you don't know anything. You're a student. You have one opportunity to be a student, maybe two, maybe three, because you might get a graduate degree or a PhD, right? But there's only a certain amount of time in your life that you're going to be a student. Take advantage of it. Everybody's willing to help students, and everybody gives students a little bit of leeway because they understand you're going through a transitional period of learning and developing. They're not expecting you to know everything. You're a student. Take advantage of it. But I will say, if you have time to get a leadership position, get it. If you don't, you can still most definitely create a resume that, like I said, think about the things you contributed. If you did not contribute, how would that organization lack? That's exactly where the gap you fill. That's the bridge you built, right? From where the organization was before you and until after. If you didn't make any impact in between there, where would that organization be lacking? Recently hired after 40 years in automotive industry, looking to start a second career, sales and business development. AI company job search, considering my status and experience, bringing value to the company, especially with upwardly mobile sales employees. Maybe I'm not understanding the question completely. If you just explaining your experience, okay. So recently retired, 40 years, looking to start a second career. Okay, yeah, I can kind of touch on that. I think the tool can help you with that as well. Um, and I'm gonna get to that in probably the next 5 minutes. So I can have 30 minutes to go over everything in the tool. So that way you can understand how AI is working. But I wanted to make this more personalized and really give you guys some tangible advice before we actually get into the actual process of using AI to help you in your job search. Interested in methods and tools one can use to help identify roles in companies that leverage your existing competencies but are different from the industry you spend your career in. Yep, I think it's kind of similar to what I just read about the recently retired person for 40 years. So you're just, yeah, you're pretty much transferring over your skills from one industry to the next. Yeah. It's just highlighting your transferable skills at the end of the day. When each post has 1,000 applications, how to attract attention to have my CV shortlist. Oh, this is perfect. So yes, everybody's applying online, right? So I think the next best step is to most definitely find people's contact information, right? And there's a few ways you can do that. I can kind of walk you through that as well, or just I'll give Matt and his team a few resources, even after the demo or a webinar, excuse me, to allow you to find email addresses and phone numbers. So there's one tool that I use all the time called SalesQL. That's SalesQL. And I can give you guys my referral link. Let me get that really quickly. So that way you can get some free credits. But what SalesQL does is that you can add a Google link extension to your LinkedIn account, and it'll literally scrape email addresses and phone numbers of anybody you want to find on LinkedIn. It's phenomenal. So pretty much I use it for sales all the time. It's called data enrichment. So I'm pretty much doing like I'm building prospect lists, right? You gotta think of your job, like your job search is really prospecting. Like it's literally sales. That's why I always tell people you need to learn sales because you'll be selling yourself for the rest of your life. I don't care if you're getting a job, you have a business, it doesn't matter. You'll be selling yourself for the rest of your life. Learn sales. It's very, very important. But yeah, sales QL, oh no, I'm sorry. I put hosted panelists. Let me drop this for everyone. Sorry. So everyone, now you have the sales QL link. You can, I think for free, you have up to 50 credits that you can use every month. So you can scrape 50 people for free. They'll give you their first name, last name, email address, phone number, the whole nine. You can then you would go into your Gmail account and send out emails. And there's another tool that you should all be using called Mail Suite. I know this one is going to be like game changing for everybody on the call. When I found it, I was like, oh yeah, this is phenomenal because now you're not sending emails and hoping or thinking about if they ever saw your email address. I mean, or your not email address, if they ever saw your email. So Mail Suite allows you to know when people open your email. So if I send an email to Matt, right, I know exactly when Matt is opening when Matt opens my email. It'll be like, Matt, open your email 3 minutes after you sent it. And then if you use the paid version, it'll tell you if Matt ever clicks on any links. So what I would recommend, right, is making a Doxin account. I don't know if Doxin is free actually, but if it is, or if it's paid, it might be cheap. I use it. I'm on a paid version of Doxin. But what I can say is Doxin is a tool that I always upload my documents to. So that way I can track when people view my documents as well, right? So Doxin allows me to upload my PDFs and then I upload my PDFs and I can create a link. And then once I send out that link via email, people have to put in their email address in to access that document. And then it tells me who accessed it. It tells me how long they spent on every page. And in the job search, I can look and see. I'll put my resumes on there and send my resume out as a link. I know who's accessing my resume. I know how long they spent on it, and I can use that data to then write follow-up emails to engage with recruiters and hiring managers based on how they view my documents. So I hope those three tools help. So SalesQL is what I use to get people's personal email addresses and phone numbers, and then I write email campaigns and then send that out with my resume to let people know that I've actually took the time to apply and I would love to schedule an interview, right? So I'm taking that extra step and also connecting with them on LinkedIn, right? Connect with them on LinkedIn, send them a connection request, but also send them an email and follow up with people. Like, don't be ashamed. Send them 3, 4, 5, 6 emails over the course of 45 days because one, people are busy, And if you're not doing it, somebody else is. I don't close deals by sending 2 emails. I close deals by sending 18 emails. And I don't feel any shame about it because I've had people tell me, I'm so glad you followed up because you changed my life. And if you believe in the things that you're doing, right? You believe in your service, you believe in yourself, you believe in the value that you can bring to somebody, you would not be ashamed by following up with that person because you know you have the conviction that if they do hire me or if they do use my product or service, they're going to get a result. And lucky for me, I've had testimonials way before this person even bought my packages. So I had other people that went through the process that got the same results they did, or even better results. So I think as long as you have the conviction, keep following up. Don't be afraid to follow up. People are busy. We all have lives. I don't remember the last email I just sent 30 minutes ago. Right? I'm on a webinar talking to you guys for 30 minutes right now. We all have short attention spans. You got 3 seconds to grab my attention, and that's it. So just keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to follow up. All right, I can't get to every single question. I'm gonna play this 3-minute video to kind of give you a 10,000-foot overview of what WriteSea actually does. And then I'll jump into the tool and we can kind of go through a couple things. Sound good? Just put a yes in the chat if you're with me. I don't know where I just put. Oh, sorry. Give me 1 sec, y'all. I thought I just had the video up. Oh, there we go. All right. Share screen 1. Perfect. Can everybody see my screen? Hold on, let me share sound. All right, share sound. All right, you should be able to see it now.
Meet WriteSea, an AI-powered platform designed to save you time and help you land more interviews. From crafting perfect resumes and generating personalized cover letters, to acing interviews and negotiating salaries. It's all here. Let's start with the resume. You can upload your existing resume or create one from scratch. You have the flexibility to edit all your personal details. But here's where the magic happens. With just a click, the rewrite feature provides enhanced suggestions for bullet points that instantly make your resume more compelling. But we didn't stop there. Our advanced rewrite tool goes a step further by asking follow-up questions, just like a career counselor would in a one-on-one session. It digs deeper into each bullet point you write, prompting you to clarify your impact, outcomes, and specific contributions. This guided experience transforms vague responsibilities into structured, achievement-based bullet points that stand out to recruiters and hiring managers. The result? A sharper, more impactful resume that truly reflects your value. Need help creating or optimizing your LinkedIn headline or career story? No problem. WriteSea does it for you instantly. Now, onto cover letters. By selecting a resume and a job, you can have a customized cover letter generated within seconds. You can easily adjust the names, tone, or length with ease, turning what used to be a time-consuming task into something quick and efficient. Now, let's talk about finding the right job. With the job feed, you can search thousands of listings and instantly see which roles are the best fit based on your resume. A personalized match percentage helps you focus your time on opportunities where they'll stand out. Smart filters allow you to narrow down roles by industry, experience level, or location. And when you're ready to apply, generate a tailored cover letter in seconds, eliminating the need to juggle between multiple tools. It's everything you need to apply smarter, all in one place. Preparing for interviews? Simply by entering the job description, WriteSea generates relevant questions and sample responses to help you prepare. You can even simulate a real interview and receive feedback on delivery, nonverbal cues, and vocabulary, with detailed reports that highlight areas for improvement, question by question. After the interview, when it's time to negotiate your salary, WriteSea goes beyond helping you craft the perfect counteroffer. Our AI salary negotiation assistant reviews and negotiates key job details like vacation, compensation, work schedule, and benefits, ensuring you get the best offer with just a few clicks. In short, WriteSea makes your job search easier. Ready to land more interviews, feel confident, and take control of your career journey? WriteSea is available free through your college or university, giving you everything you need to build a standout resume, prepare for interviews, and secure the job you deserve. Don't wait. Create your account today and start building your future with WriteSea.
Perfect. I hope they gave everybody like a 10,000 foot overview of the platform. So now I'm going to go, this is the actual platform here. I kind of customized it to Beta Gamma Sigma. Color schemes and logos the best I could. But as when you log in, the first thing you'll see is your dashboard. So your dashboard has a total number of resumes created, jobs, cover letters, and your job tracker. Okay. I want to start with the resume feature. So as you've seen in the video, right, you have the ability to create resumes from scratch on here, or you can upload an existing resume, and it'll parse the data from your resume, and you can start editing that resume inside the tool. Okay. So for demo purposes, I'm just going to show you a resume that I've already kind of created a little bit. Okay. Let me go to. So for this one, the key feature here, right, is in so on your professional summary, you can rewrite it with AI. So I'm going to go to. You can do that on your key highlights. You can rewrite with AI. So like responsible for managing projects and completing marketing tasks, right? If I click on help me rewrite this with AI, it's going to do that, but also give me percentages and tell me why I should be on why which bullet point is the most effective, right? So proves ability to handle multiple tasks, demonstrates capacity to meet deadlines, shows skill in enhancing productivity. And then I can go to our work experience and show you the rewrite with Try Advanced Rewrite feature, where it actually asks negotiated major corporate partnerships that extended brand reach and enhanced co-marketing efforts. Great. But now I rewrite my bullet point with AI here. Now it's saying negotiated major corporate partnerships over a decade, driving co-marketing efforts and brand reach expansion, resulted in enhanced adoption and engagement. This proves ability to establish strategic partnerships. The next one is demonstrates expertise in marketing strategy and execution. The last one shows ability to drive results through collaborative marketing efforts. What really people love and why institutions and nonprofits really adopt WriteSea is this Try Advanced Rewrite feature, because we don't want you to just use AI and download the resume, apply to the job, and you have no idea how to articulate your values and skill sets inside in the interview, correct? So what we do is we simulate this advanced rewrite feature as acting as a career coach doing in a one-on-one session. For each bullet point that you write, it's going to ask you 3 probing questions just to gain a little bit more detail about how you actually contributed in that role, specifically with that bullet point. Okay. So let's say, what percentage increase in brand reach or co-marketing engagement did you achieve through these partnerships from a baseline to an after state? Over what time frame, and how did this impact Google's business or users, right? So now I have to answer this question, right? I'm going to put that. I got a template. Here we go. Perfect. So we're going to write this answer here and press next. Oh, sorry. Right. So now I go to the next question, right? As the director of marketing at Google, right? So it's actually looking at my resume and asking me probing questions as a career coach would in a one-on-one session, right? What was the scope of your ownership and scale of your collaboration with cross-functional teams, partners, or stakeholders in negotiating and implementing these corporate partnerships? And how did you navigate any constraints or compliance? Perfect. I'm going to add my answer here. And then last question, right? What key design or implementation decisions did you make in structuring these partnerships, such as choosing specific co-marketing channels or tactics? And what trade-offs did you consider? Tying your choices to a concrete outcome category like time to market, reliability, or performance, and how did these decisions impact the partnership's overall success? Right. So I'll write my answer here, and boom. Now it's going to suggest even more detailed improvements based on the answers I've gave my AI tool. Right. So we've literally thought this through. Like I told you, I've been in career services for the past 7 to 8 years. I've helped over 1,000 people transition into new roles over the past 5 years. We've thought everything through when it comes to building a tool that's going to help you in your job search, from resumes to cover letters to networking to preparing for interviews to negotiating a salary, right? And I just gave you a couple tools to find people's email addresses and phone numbers. That's not necessarily in the platform yet, but I promise you it's coming. Those are the things we want to implement across the board to actually help you succeed in your job search. Because at the end of the day, what does your job dictate? Your livelihood. Okay. And that's serious. That's nothing to play with. I don't play with anybody's livelihood. Okay. So as you can see, now the bullet point has implemented my questions, my answers to create a more, I call it an achievement-based bullet point. Right? Remember, the goal of your resume is to showcase how your previous roles are going to impact your potential next company. What did you contribute in your previous experience that's going to get somebody excited about, man, I need to interview Matt today. They're doing things I need in my company right now. And guess what the key to knowing what they need in their company is? The job description. The job description is a cry out for help, y'all. It's literally saying, hey, I need XYZ. My company needs this type of person to come join us as soon as possible because we have goals to reach. That's your opportunity to tailor your resume towards the job description. And now you're implementing your experience along with the things they need in your resume. Now, it's not the end all be all. Like I told you, you need to also reach out to those recruiters, email people, connect on LinkedIn, and actually post about the things you're doing online, because that's going to build your credibility and trust. Right. So it's, I'm not going to lie, it's a lot. But at the end of the day, it determines your what? Your livelihood. Put livelihood in the chat. Livelihood. At the end of the day, it controls or it determines your what? Your livelihood. So it's very important. You got to put in the work to reap the rewards. Okay. But I'm glad you can see how our resume bullet points can help you create, our AI features can help you create achievement-based bullet points for your resume. Right. You also have a few templates you can choose from here. Once you're done, you can export it in Word or PDF. It'll show you what the resume looks like before you actually export it. Right. So you can verify everything looks good. And I can download it as a Word or PDF and then to go apply to jobs. Okay. I can also drag and drop sections here if I needed to, edit sections, remove sections, the whole nine. But I want to show you the key feature of the AI rewrite, because That's what's powerful for the resume feature. On top of, we have a chat with AI feature, so where now you have an on-demand career coach. Think of like Chat GPT, but with your resume, right? So I can come in here and say, hey, write me a LinkedIn headline based on my resume. And now it's doing it. Done. Write me a 30-second elevator pitch. Done. Right? Write me a LinkedIn post to share that I'm looking for internship opportunities. Done. Right? Now you're not starting from scratch with this stuff anymore, y'all. You have a career tool in your pocket, 24/7 access. Okay? So people usually leverage this to optimize their resume based on the job description. They optimize their LinkedIn profile, their LinkedIn about paragraph, LinkedIn headline. And in a few months, I think we'll actually have like a LinkedIn profile analyzer. I know the product team is working on it. So be on the lookout for that coming up soon. Next, we have our jobs feature to where you can actually search for jobs on our platform. We scrape different job boards that we have partnerships with. But the key feature here is I can actually recommend you jobs based on your resume. So I clicked on this match jobs based on my default resume. I can change my default resume here if I wanted to, and it will recommend you jobs based on your resume. So I'm an 88% match here. I can press apply. And when I press apply, I can generate a personalized cover letter within seconds based on my resume. I can also edit this cover letter right here inside the tool. I don't have to go anywhere to edit it. I can download it, save cover letter, copy it, download as Word or PDF, and now I can go apply to the job. That's what AI is doing. That's what AI is doing for you guys. Okay? It's literally changing the game. Right? Your job search has never been as streamlined as this. And yes, reach out to Matt if you want access to the tool. That's correct, Matt, right? They need to reach out to you, or you're gonna drop the landing page where they can sign up.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link in just 1 second here.
Okay, yep, no problem. Take your time. I'm doing good on time. Okay, I got 15 minutes left. Perfect. That's more than enough time to get through everything. All right. Now the cover letter feature, right? You can also create cover letters here, right? I can select the resume I want to create the cover letter with, right? This used to take somebody 30 minutes to do manually, guys. Right? I'm selecting a job. Okay, so when I want to make sure I'm making this clear. So I can add a new job by pasting a job URL. So I can go to LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, whatever, paste it in here, or I can paste the listing requirement. Okay. I'm just selecting a job that I've already pasted. So once you add a job, it automatically saves to your job tracker here. Okay. So I'm just going to select this job. I'm creating my cover letter. Boom. Within seconds. Now I can customize it based on tone, length, and exclude any achievements I don't necessarily want to highlight. This used to take us 30 minutes to write. And I know people for a fact stared at a blank screen trying to figure out how to write a freaking cover letter. AI makes it simple and easier to do now. To where you don't have to start, you don't have to stare at a blank screen no more. It's literally including your achievements in the cover letter for you based on the resume you chose and based on the job description. You can edit it in here as well. Customize it based on how you want to sound and how long you want it to be. And excluding the achievements you don't necessarily want to highlight. Download as a Word or PDF and get to applying to the job. Next, we have interview prep. Okay. So interview prep is one of our highly recommended features. Right now, everybody knows resume, cover letter, LinkedIn is going to get you what? The interview. Right? But your interviewing skills is going to land you a what? Job offer. Okay? So we created job preparation and mock interviewing here to help you succeed at securing what? Your next offer. Right? So here, you add a new job, just like I did before. You add the job URL or paste the listing requirements. Okay? You come in here. Once that's done, it'll say generate questions, which I just did. It'll generate 8 questions with sample responses based on the job description and your resume. So I click on a sample response. It has the question and how to answer it. and it gives you advice on how to answer the question. Next, I want to show you our mock interview. Now, this is where things get real interesting. Okay, this is video-based interviewing. They actually give you feedback on vocabulary, verbal fluency, relevance to question, and nonverbal communication. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is select new mock interview. I'm gonna select the job, select the resume. Right, I'm gonna do an intro call, and I'm gonna do an intermediate difficulty level, and I'm gonna interview with our senior recruiter. Okay, let me turn off my camera on Zoom real quick. Perfect. So now you have your interview details. I can select begin interview session. Now it's going to create my interview. Once it creates your interview, you're going to have 4 questions. You get 2 minutes to respond to each question. Okay. And just type in the chat yes if you can actually hear the interview question.
As a marketing senior director, how do you plan to drive business growth and customer engagement in a highly competitive market like Las Vegas? And what strategies would you employ to stay ahead of the competition?
That's a great question, Emma. As a marketing senior director, I plan on driving business growth and customer engagement in a highly competitive market like Las Vegas by doing boots on the ground marketing, field marketing, being at every hotel, showcasing our events, having dancers, clowns, circus, whatever I need to do to grab people's attention to let them know that we're in town and we have the best event that's going on in Las Vegas in the summer of 2026. So now you can see it transcribes your answer on the right, transcribes the question on the right, and then my answer. I can also choose to answer the question again if I feel like I didn't do a good job on it, or I can go to the next question.
Given your experience in managing high-performing marketing teams, how would you approach mentoring and leading our marketing team to foster a culture of creativity and excellence? And what metrics would you use to measure their success?
Absolutely, Emma. This is a phenomenal question. As a leader, right, and a marketing leader, I plan on building a robust training program and building a directory of tools and resources to allow my marketing team to be upskilled and grow, especially due to AI. Right, we have to all start learning how to replace ourselves or duplicating ourselves because at the end of the day, that's what the world is coming to. So I would build a directory of resources and playbooks, bring even other experts in to train and develop my team, right? So they're up to speed on business development, marketing strategy, event production, right? Field marketing, copywriting, right? Business development, lead generation, prospecting, sales, demoing, the whole nine.
The job description mentions analyzing market trends and consumer behavior to inform strategic decision-making. Can you walk me through your process for conducting market research and analysis and how you've applied these insights in previous roles to drive marketing strategy?
Emma, this is a phenomenal question. So the job description mentions analyzing marketing trends and consumer behavior to inform decision making, right? I usually use I do market research by talking to people, doing surveys, doing using ChatGPT as well to conduct an analysis of how people are engaging with our tools, and I also use emails to 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 gauge a sense of engagement on how people um, like our communication style, right, and how we present ourselves when it comes to a visual appealing company.
As someone with experience managing large marketing budgets, how would you approach developing and managing our marketing budget to ensure optimal resource allocation and ROI? And what tools or methodologies would you use to measure and optimize our marketing spend?
100%. So I think about marketing budget. You got people and tools, right? So I think of people as I want to at least try to get a 3x return from a people's perspective. So if I'm paying somebody $20,000 a year, I'm expecting them to bring in at least $60,000 a year, right? If I'm looking at tools, I want to get a 4x to 5x return on my investment, right? So if I'm paying $1,000 for a tool a month, I want to make sure we're making $4,000 to $5,000 a tool every month. If we're not doing that, then I try to reevaluate the tools that we're using and maybe look at other competitors and see if the tools are performing better, or I need to go back to my team to see how they're using the tool to get the most efficient, the most effectiveness out of the tool. Perfect, guys. So look, that was a quick interview, 4 questions. You got 2 minutes to respond. And then once you're done, it consolidates all your answers, right? It's benchmarking your answers against role criteria, scoring your strengths, the whole 9, right? So once you're done taking the interview, now you have an overall score of your interview on the left-hand side. I got 60%, right? Based on my vocabulary, verbal fluency, relevance to question, and nonverbal and delivery, right? I can also click on why, right, to see why I got to rank these numbers, these metrics. And it also gives me things I can improve on. I can also go deeper. It gives me general feedback, what to do differently, and a sample response on how to answer the question based on my resume. Okay. Now, we also do individual analytics. So you have question 1 on the right-hand side, question 2, question 3, and question 4 analytics. Okay. I can go deeper on this side as well to see my general feedback, what to do differently, and sample responses. I can also retake the interview if I needed to, up to 3 takes, okay? I can also share this interview. Oh, man, where is the share button? Oh, right here. I can share this interview, public, private, or only me. So if I want to share this maybe with a recruiter, right, I can copy this link, go in here, paste the URL, and now that person can view my interview. Maybe I want to share with another career coach or share with my advisor, right? Share with my mentor. You can do that here. Kind of similar to like a Loom, right? And they can watch your video, look at your analytics, the whole 9. Okay. I can also download it if I needed to. Last 2 things I'll show you. We have a contacts tracker, right? I told you about how important it is to build your repertoire of contacts, right? I have full name, phone number, job title, current company, email address, location, contact goal, relationship, and status. All right. I can add my contacts here. And then one cool thing we have is where I can generate messages based on contacts. So I can be like, hey, I met Matt at Beta Gamma Sigma's inaugural event. He's looking to hire an executive assistant. Please create a message for me to connect with Matt on LinkedIn or via email. And it will do it within seconds. Similar to kind of a message here. Like, hi, Bob. I hope you're doing well. We met at Google's career fair in Sunnyvale. I'm very interested in the software engineering role. Engineering intern roles you mentioned. Could we arrange a time to discuss how my skills align with your team's needs? Thank you for considering my application. Best, your name, right? Comes with a quick message you can send on LinkedIn or via email based on the context that you give it. All right. And then offer negotiation. One of my favorite features. Okay. Now here's where you can paste your offer letter, select more context. So you want to put the resume you apply to the job with here. Select the job description or paste the job description. And then it helps you negotiate your vacation and paid time off, compensation details, work scheduling arrangement, and benefits package. And it generates a counter offer email for you to copy and paste, send in that Gmail. Remember, use MailSuite to know when they open your email, click on the links, right? So you're not guessing, oh, my email went to a black hole and I have no idea on what to use or what, or if they saw my email or clicked on any links that I sent them. That's why MailSuite is important. I need y'all to download that right now if you haven't already. It's free to use to even just see if people open your email. So it's really no excuse for you not to download. I promise you it will change your life, right? So every email now you send, you'll get a response from MailSuite to say, hey, Leander opened your email or Matt opened your email, right? So and it will remind you, hey, this person hasn't responded to your email. You might want to follow up with them. It's a phenomenal tool, guys. I'm telling you, download it. All right, don't tell me that. Don't come back and say I didn't teach you anything. All right, MailSuite, don't forget. All right, so you will copy this email, put it in Gmail, make sure your MailSuite is attached, and send it to the hiring manager to help negotiate, to start that conversation to negotiate your salary. Okay. Yeah, that's WriteSea in a nutshell. You have everything from resumes, LinkedIn optimization, finding jobs, personalized cover letters, simulate mock interviews. Oh, and then one other thing I forgot to show you is the question bank. Sorry about that. So remember the job preparation, the mock interviews for personalized interview prep. We also created a question bank to where you can get standardized interview prep. So if I'm applying to an accounts payable clerk job, all I would need to do is come in here, search the job title, select the company type, and it'll create 10 questions on the left-hand side that are industry standard for that role, give you sample responses, and then tips on how to answer similar questions. So you have personalized career interview prep and industry standard interview prep. And we are right at time. Are there any last questions? I'm happy to stay over an extra 5 minutes if need be. And if you got any value out of this, man, I want you guys to rate this webinar from 1 to 10. Drop it in the chat. I want to give me some feedback about this webinar today. I would really appreciate it if you don't mind. And make sure your messages are going to everyone instead of the host and panelists. I know most of everybody's messages going just straight to me and the panelists, but all good. I can see it.
All right. Thank you, everyone. There are a couple of questions
Okay.
dropped in the Q&A here. I don't know if you've already looked at these though.
Do employers get bothered when applicants use AI in applications? I've been using ChatGPT. She's a female, 27 from New Zealand. Yes, I mean a little bit. Everybody's like, job seekers using AI, recruiters are using AI, everybody's using AI, right? But what I will tell you though is to not only use AI, kind of what I demonstrated today is like let AI start you off, and then you add in your personal flavor. Make sure you're giving the details, right? Make sure you're actually optimizing your resume and actually, making it more of an achievement-based bullet point versus just letting AI create a standardized resume that looks like everybody else's. What people can't replace is your experience, right? So you want to make sure that your experience is articulated and communicated through all your professional documents. That's your LinkedIn, your resume, your cover letter, interview prep, whatever the case may be. Can it be used in the Middle East and Gulf? So can it understand the cultural differences? Absolutely. We have clients in Africa. We have clients in the Middle East. We have clients, even I believe it's in South America as well. And we actually will have up to 15 languages for the interview prep, probably by January or February. We have Spanish right now, it's English and Spanish, but we'll have up to 15 languages probably by January for interview prep. Sorry if I missed the response. It's a one-page resume recommended. Any thoughts on resume length would be great. I would say if you're entry level, one page for sure. Anything I would say after like 4 years of experience, if you got more than like 3-4 jobs, 2 years, two pages is fine. I would recommend nobody go over 2 pages. Like, I don't care if you're an executive. Trim the fat as much as possible. Like I said, people are short attention spans. Put on a resume what's relevant, and that's it. I love to learn how to tailor my skills on a resume for a new role within a company, looking to branch out from sales to the bank to operations or project management. Yeah, I think it's all about highlighting your transferable skills. So the things you learned in sales, right? Remember, look at that job description. The job description is going to literally tell you what they're looking for, right? So then you're like, okay, based on my job in sales, what did I do that's relevant to what they're asking for me in this role as a project manager or operations banker? And you want to highlight that within your resume. It's all about highlighting your transferable skills. I joined so late, apologies, repetitive. How can you have your resume stand out assuming your company using AI bots or filter resume? I think I just explained that. Just make it more personalized. The problem I have is I'm mid-50s and recently finished my MBA. My background doesn't really translate into career path. I own businesses, operated Chuck E. Cheese, okay. Sears Auto, then went to technical work with Xerox. Last step in the real term work. You've done a lot. Okay, that's good. Until booted by the current administration, I've had a hard time making a coherent story. I either show all my cards and get no calls, or I only show real estate, government. Can WriteSea help? I've been using Copilot and ChatGPT to target residents and colors from most hundreds, thousands, but only the right lens. Yeah, so whoever this is, I know it's anonymous attendee, that's fine. Reach out to me, connect with me on LinkedIn. But also I would say you might want to take an approach of actually reaching out to people now, right? Versus just applying to jobs online. And you need multiple resumes for every single type of job you're applying to, right? So if you're looking to apply to sales jobs, you need a sales resume. If you're looking to apply to marketing jobs, you need a marketing resume. Oh, sorry, y'all, my camera's off. Sorry, I can't see me. Y'all need to apply to, if you want a sales job, you need a sales resume. If you're looking to apply to marketing jobs, you need a marketing resume. If you're looking to apply to an operations job, you need an operations resume, right? And then you use those industry, or like remember I said at the beginning, you need job functional resumes, right? So we're like sales, operations, finance, engineering, product, all of those are job functions, HR, legal, all of those are job functions within any organization, right? So you want to create job functional resumes to where you don't necessarily have to create all like personalized resumes for every single job, because I know my sales resume is going to fit for an account executive. It's going to fit for a sales manager. It's going to fit for like mid-career or executive level jobs. It's all a science. It's a science behind this job search stuff. It's really a process, but you got to plan, right? You got to plan, and then you succeed. You plan and you execute. Okay? But I would highly recommend creating a job functional resumes first, right? Optimize your LinkedIn, and then you can go and start applying to jobs, and then taking that extra step of using SalesQL, researching people on LinkedIn, finding their contact, and then emailing those people. And using MailSuite to track if they opened it. And also MailSuite is going to remind you if they didn't respond, so you can follow up. I hope that helped. Okay. If I was in the same role for over 20 years, does including other non-relevant experience help me seem adaptable or well-rounded? Lisa, if you don't, can they come like off mute, Matt, at all, or like call them up to the stage where they can talk, or no?
Unfortunately, no, they can't come off mute.
Okay, no problem. If I was in the same role for over 20 years, does including other non-relevant experience help me seem adaptable or well-rounded? What type of non-relevant experience are you talking about? And I'm gonna answer Joe's while you answer that in the chat. How is the cover letter tool different than using ChatGPT or other LLM directly? So yeah, perfect. That's a great question, Joe. So with our tool, we've created like the prompts. In like our AI models are trained on prompts and other cover letters that ChatGPT isn't. Right. So if you go to ChatGPT, you have to go and know what prompts to tell ChatGPT to get a personalized cover letter, even if you uploaded the job description or the resume. Right, those are the two context files that you have to upload to the large language model. So then you have to do the prompting and engineering. Now, if you're a prompt engineer and know how to create a personalized cover letter, which that's going to include your achievements based on the job description, the resume, based on tone, length, feet, like all the things I just showed you, then great, you might be able to. But we've trained our models to where it's creating those cover letters based on thousands of resumes we have in our database, really millions. And people creating cover letters on our database now and getting feedback and whether they get jobs or not. So it's really an ecosystem that we're training our models off of. We have college and universities using it. We have nonprofits using it. Like it's a lot of different organizations, a lot of different type of talent using our platform that we can train our models on to be better and better every single day. Oh, I hope that helps, Joe. Thanks for being here. How do other activities like volunteering add value? Are they worth their time? I think everything depends on like what type of, like I feel like for mid-career executives, I think leadership roles like board of advisors, things like that, yes, highlight those on the resume. But if it's like Habitat for Humanity, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just volunteering on like a community level, I don't really see the value, to be honest. When it comes to actually getting the role. Now it might help you when it comes to making a connection to somebody that might be reviewing your resume could be like, oh yeah, I volunteer for Habitat for Humanity as well, and that might be a reason why you get the interview. I'm not saying don't put it on there, but I don't necessarily see it actually helping you get the role unless that's someone's in the company is affiliated with that organization. Because at the end of the day, you can volunteer for Habitat for Humanity, but if you can't do the role, I'm not hiring. If I was in the same role for over 20 years, did she put some? Okay, here she goes. Tax preparer and financial counselor, about 20 plus years in insurance, actuary, and product manager. Okay, maybe I'm still confused on that. So you're a tax preparer and financial counselor for 20 years, but during your 20 years of experience, your 20 years of experience is insurance, actuary, and product manager. So that's not non-relevant. If you've done those things in your role, then I will actually highlight those on my resume. But I will implement them into my bullet points and then highlight them as skills. So like product management might be a skill on my resume, right? Finance, I don't know what you're financial analyst or FP&A, whatever finance skills you have, I'll put that on the resume. Like as my hard skills, right? And I would implement in my bullet points how I actually did those things, or how I actually use those skills in without through those 20 years of experience at that one company. If that makes sense. And if you have multiple roles in those 20 years, then those need to be each individual sections on the resume. So you need to showcase your promotion over those 20 years if you're at the same company. Or are you saying you had the same title for 20 years? Okay, so you've had multiple level roles. So yes, so you just want to highlight the most relevant, like probably the most recent is the most relevant, right? Like I'm pretty sure you wouldn't highlight the first ever role that you came into the company with. It's probably not relevant. That was probably what 20 years ago, right? You want to highlight probably the last 10 to 15 years experience and really go hard on those bullet points. It's going to help at the end of the day. It's articulating how you're going to bring value to the company that you're applying to based on the job description. Remember, the job description is a cry for help. Optimize your resume to showcase that you're the solution that they need. Hope that helped. All right, cool. I think that's all the questions.
I think so, yeah. I want to thank you very much for hopping in here and having such interaction with the chat and everybody that joined us today. I think seems like everybody got a lot of great stuff out of it. Thank you for personalizing it and kind of tailoring it to the audience. That's fantastic. And just
Absolutely.
generally, thank you for being here.
Yeah, man, no doubt, man. This was great. Yeah, we do these all the time, man. So we need to do another one, maybe another quarter, like right March or something. Feel free to just reach out, Matt. Happy
Yeah,
to come on here and then also share the recording. You can watch it on demand. However you want. We can talk offline about how you want to do that stuff, but
obviously. Yeah, yeah,
definitely
yeah.
was
Yeah, that's
phenomenal
perfect.
webinar. There was a lot of people on the call, so I appreciate you, advertising, getting them to come register, getting them
Yeah.
interested in learning more. So great webinar overall, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you. Happy to have you. And thank you to everyone else who stuck around for the last few questions here. It was wonderful to have you. And thank you so much for interacting and sharing all your insights and thoughts and everything. So,
Yep, and make sure you guys connect with me on LinkedIn as well. I dropped in the chat a few times.
yeah, please connect with Leander. He just dropped his link in there. So hop on and add him on LinkedIn.
Perfect. All right.
All
Well,
right,
there's
guys.
nothing else for me. See you guys later, and thanks for having me, Matt.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.